Hello everybody, my name is Alex Heil. I'm a senior in CCM for Electronic Media, and right here I have Minecraft Education Edition. It's something I came across when I went to the CACH library. I got an inquiry from a old classmate of mine to say to check this out and stuff like that, and I found a very interesting lesson plan called A Stranger in Crimwell Village. So basically, it's a pretty much a lesson plan that exposes students to actively look into government as a way to kind of create laws and stuff like that. So I know like government is such a bore to some people. So what better way to actively look into creating laws and standards and stuff like that, a code of ethics in a world better than Minecraft. I mean, if you think about it, it's just another way to actively engage students to think of government as a way of building blocks, and Minecraft is basically developed under a gameplay for building blocks. And it's super easy, and I will go ahead and open up this world. So I'm going to hit play, and so this is pretty much the tool in general. So once you get this tool, and it's actually for free, and there's a couple variations of this tool. Right now I'm just in the actual education edition, but there is classroom, and classroom's slightly different. It's still the same game, still the same concept, but if you have like many students and they like to run around, you can kind of wrangle them in with some really easy commands and stuff like that. I haven't delved into that too far yet, but this is primarily the tool that I would like to use, which is the Education Edition. And for the lesson plans, you can view this library here, and there's tons of lesson plans. Like, oh my goodness, I found WWF's A Biodiversity Crisis. Basically, it shows like all these different species that have gone extinct over generations because of our human footprint, climate change, and all this other stuff. It's not particularly the lesson plan I'm working with, but it's just one example that you can use this tool to find pretty much any prefab or pre-made, lesson plans. And there's just so much. There's even more um, lesson plans that I haven't even seen before. This is actually really neat. Like Fluffletopulus. I mean, I don't even know what that means, but it's a lesson plan. So I mean, there's just so much here, and some of them are kind of repeats and well, not really repeats, but remakes and revamped versions of a previous lesson plan. Like, look how crazy this one looks. I mean, what in the world is going on here? So, one with the human eye. I mean, yeah, this tool is by far the most interesting I've ever seen. But for mine, I would have to go to a website, the actual Minecraft for Education's website. But for now, I kind of did that already. So, and for some reason, I don't have the exact original, but we will use this one because it's the same concept. But so once you have your lesson plan, which in particular for me, it is A Stranger in Crimwell Village. Now this is a world that my team and I actually um, remade and stuff. It was a very mechanically broken world, but most of this, like as you can see with this house here, it's pretty much the same style for most of the world here. But for some things that we did, um, like this guy was not named Dr. T or even looked like that. But for the meanwhile, you can kind of get a pretty good reference here. So when students actually get into this world, especially if you're in a classroom mode, they would spawn right here, as I have, and they are told to speak to this guy, to talk to her, and then she will point you in a direction depending on which person you choose. So my classmates, this is my team: Josie, myself, Lauren, and Kaylin, and our game designer, who's not an NPC for this particular moment, or non-player character. She's essentially the one who designed the overall game flow. So in short, students will pretty much pop in this world. They'll get a quick little look around and be told to essentially go through this lesson plan, as long as the teacher can facilitate and understand the overall flow, which we have created a diagram to kind of ease the whole flow of the game, so it's not like, oh, okay, where exactly do I go? Because Minecraft is pretty open and is very free as long as you're in certain modes of the game. So in creative, you can actively destroy things, but in the settings, you can actually change this to survival adventure. Survival is basically you can take damage, you can die, and overall you actually have to maintain your actual character. But adventure, you can still be in peaceful mode so that you don't get attacked and nothing like that, but you're sustained to walking. You can't fly like in creative or anything like that, which I can actually do that right now. But this tool is very it's easy to use for many different reasons. So you can do options such as show coordinates so that you can easily teleport, immediate respawn, which if you die you just kind of come back to exactly where you were left off, which this world you don't die. I mean, you shouldn't. So cheats are basically, in this tool you can create certain assets within the game that are pertinent to what you want to teach. So later on in this lesson plan, I will be implementing something with redstone. So this is one of the essentials for me that I will do. And a good strategy in this tool is to always have it today so that people can navigate more easily. And there's so many different tools in here, like just settings for whatever you want to do, such as hotbars between 1 through 9 so that you can get items and stuff like that. Let's see here. What else? So as far as universal design learning, this kind of tool is super crucial in allowing kids to kind of create their own variant. So in this particular lesson plan, you actually do make your own jail. So in this lesson plan, you're supposed to talk to certain people, and those certain peoples tell you to start gathering. So let's just say part of your thing was to get some wood, so you would get some wood, or you would need some kind of redstone or anything like that. So here's some redstone blocks, and here is a actual prototype that was implemented in the game. But sometimes this is how mechanically broken the game was to start with, but in the long run, I'm sure my team and I will find some use for her. If not, then it's easy to pretty much remove. So yeah, so eventually kids will be able to build their own kind of things and be able to use them for some aspect of the game. So yeah, this is the Minecraft for Educational tool. Eventually I will have something that looks a lot nicer. Most of it will probably stay the same. This is something that I actually added just so that people can find their way back if they should ever get lost for some strange reason. Yeah, that's about it. Eventually, the overall game flow would make a little more sense. Um, this world is a little bit edited from my team. Um, it's not exactly the original. I'm not too sure what happened to the original file, but pretty much the theme of the game flow is still relatively the same. Um, there's